Yes, welcome everyone here to the Smash Sport Show right here on Smash FM here on a Sunday. Of course, let's go up to our friends up on the beautiful Gold Coast. Of course, being with the JP Volleyball League champions in the under-19s. And, of course, that is the Gold Coast Volley Club. And, of course, we've got a couple of very special guests joining us right now that tell us a bit about it. Thanks all you for joining us.
Thank you.
I'll get all you to introduce yourselves and tell us, I guess, for the players in particular as well, what position you'll play on the court.
All right, I'll go first. I'm Chloe and I play middle blocker.
Yeah, I can go next. I'm Emma and I play pass hit or sometimes oppo.
I'm Michaela and I play setter.
I'm Ava and I also play middle blocker.
Oh my God, this is tragic. I'm Ryan and I play oppo and I sometimes switch to setter.
My name's Hannah and I've been their coach for the season.
Tell us a bit about the premiership that you achieved about a couple of weeks ago.
Well, I guess I'll say it from a coach's point of view. So we built up all through season and the girls did really well switching between having myself as their head coach, but also Demi, who can't be with us today, as their other coach. They really just took it in their stride on whoever they had that game day. And then, obviously they got themselves into the gold medal match and we played out that game. Wasn't an easy win, that's for sure. It was definitely competitive, but the girls stayed really composed the whole time. They were super excited. They did everything that I could have asked from a coach's point of view. And more, they just gel really well together. Some of these girls I coached last year as well, so they've had those couple of years of growing together and know how each other plays, which they definitely utilize in that match for sure. But they just did really well. So if any of the girls have anything they want to add from their point of view, because they were on the court, so it definitely feels different when you're on court versus when you're on the side.
It was really fun, the premiership game. We all had a lot of fun, but we definitely were a bit stressed out in the first set, but then in the second set, we enjoyed it all. And it was just really great to see the season come to an end and all the hard work paid off. It's really good.
I really enjoyed it. I think it was one of our best games. The first set was a bit rocky, but we did get there in the end. But yeah, I really enjoyed that game. That was a good game.
Who did you choose first in the grand final and how did you fare against them throughout the season?
We versed East. They had two teams. I believe it was East black or orange. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. I think it might be black. I'm not sure because they had two teams, but we versed them in round one. So like first round, everyone was new, playing. And we won that game. But it was a bit closer, and then so obviously we all improved and then we play each other again last. So that was cool.
Yeah, I think in round one when we versed them, like we didn't have some of our players that we played them the second time, so that was like different as well because I was playing middle and we're all like just jumping into positions just to make up for the team. So when we did play them in the grand final again, it was much more like everyone knew their role and what they were doing. We're a much solid team.
Someone mentioned before, I think it might be Michaela who mentioned it, that it was definitely one of the team's best games for the year. Did everything go right after a very rocky first set?
I would say that we like to make it very difficult for ourselves, but like ultimately like that's the fun of it. Like it definitely went better from the first set once our nerves had settled, but we do like to make it hard for ourselves in the end.
Yeah, they're a very tough team to play. And I find that, like Kai said, like in the first set, we were really nervous and we do like to make it really hard for ourselves. But we definitely sort of got into the groove and there was a few points that we probably still nerves got to us. But I find that we all got into our skills and we just had a great time. It was a really good game.
Hannah, how nervous were you on the sidelines throughout that game?
It was definitely nerve-wracking. I do my best to hide it from the girls and just try to be really excited for them. I had literally just sprinted over from coaching the under-17 girls bronze medal match. So I'd finished one, had to compose myself from the excitement of that game and go into another one and restart all those emotions again. These girls, because I have coached most of them for 2 years and some of them are in my team in seniors, I know how they play. I know how to bring out different sides of them that I need in those games. And between myself and the other coach, Demi, we bounce off each other really well and can make decisions on what we think is going to be best for that game, making sure that everyone's getting court time, but when it comes to crunch time, we've got who we need on the court that's going to stay composed. But yeah, on the inside, I was definitely screaming the whole time, whether it was good things or bad things, but I kept them to myself and just showed like some positivity to the girls. And I think bringing that energy to them only allows them to feed off it. And they just did exactly what I needed them to do and gave me some time to relax towards the end of that game.
So, Hannah, you mentioned that you had 2 games. Obviously, you had the bronze medal one, which I'm assuming, by the sounds of that, you got the bronze medal for the 17s.
Yeah.
And obviously backed up with a 19s gold medal. I know, obviously, you would have liked to have the gold medal as well for the 17s. But which one's more special? Was there any uniqueness between the two?
They're completely different games. So the 17s I had were the B division girls. So now, like, I think 2 of them have played before and the rest were very new to the sport, or at least at that level, they'd never played before. So for them, it was just so much excitement, but so much nerves because they didn't even expect to get there in the first place. And they did so well all season. And the reason that they did as well as they did was based off how well they gelled together and they just got along, and they just absorbed everything you ever told them to do because they just love the sport. And not to say that the 19s don't, they definitely love their sport, but they've played longer, they've played in finals before. For the girls that I coached last year from the 19s, when they were in 17s, we got silver last year. So for them, I think it's a little bit of a grudge in there to try and get that gold back, and sort of prove that they can do it. So yeah, it's different between the girls learning to play the sport and then the girls that know how to play the sport and are stepping up to be ready for that senior level. So yeah, completely different, but it's both just as rewarding as each other.
For the players in particular, when you won the final point to win the championship, was it a celebration or relief?
It was definitely celebration. I know Ava won the last point, actually the last 2 points in a row. And so that was a big accomplishment for her, especially on a block. So it was much celebration there.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot of fun. Like after we'd blocked and we came back down, we realized we won the point. We sort of looked over to the coaches on the bench and everyone was so happy. And then everyone sort of ran into the middle and we did a big huddle and it was an awesome opportunity. And I think that it really made my season particularly.
Ava, as Michaela mentioned before, you had the last 2 points to win the championship. I guess, can you remember your thought process on the last one that you that got them over the line?
Yeah, so we had another assistant coach on the bench. His name was Matt, I believe, and he really helped me. So he sort of gave me a few pointers. He was like, you can get this, girl, you just need to wait, and then you need to block a little bit later. And I remember listening to him on 2 points before the actual set point, and I got her, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can do this again. And I sort of waited and did it again. And then it happened and it was just like perfect. Like I couldn't have asked for anything better. And then all the girls, like I could not have done without the girls because all the girls were behind me and they started giving me tips and things. And as a player that hasn't played club before, like I love these girls. And I think that as a season, we did really well to do that.
I can see some of you wearing your medals, next. So I have to ask, I'll get whoever's wearing their medals to show their medals first, and then I'll ask the next question. There they are. So I need to ask all you, including the coach, how long did you all wear your medals around your necks for, and did you sleep with it?
We wore them for like photos and stuff. But then we kind of just like all went home and had our own little celebrations, I think. And I took mine off personally. It's too heavy to sleep with.
It seems like most of the girls did the same thing. I know that I got home, I put my 2 on together, and the couple others the girls won from throughout the season, and took a photo. I was like, yep, success. And then I took them all off, and I think they're somewhere in a drawer because I've been moving houses. But yeah, I just scraped one out for today.
What does this premiership mean to all of you, and especially, I guess, the way the season panned out?
Personally, it was just a great achievement. This year was my last year playing JPVL, as I'm 19 next year. So winning the premiership, going undefeated all season, and just really like having a great team behind me was just really cool to end off my junior volleyball. So it was really rewarding and just felt really good, and we all had fun.
I know it was really rewarding for me because I was in the team last year and we won silver. And so that was a bit disappointing because we'd worked so hard all season, but then to come back this season and win the gold medal was like really rewarding.
Yeah, as Mickey said, like last year when we got silver, that was pretty disappointing. But also because this year I played seniors, we didn't get anything. Like we didn't even make like finals or anything. So it was good for under 19 to actually win.
I think the under 19s win was like a big thing for all of us. Like last year we got the silver and we're just hungry to come back and get the gold. Like we know we can do it. And like we're all really good friends outside of volleyball as well, which I think really just helped us like push through the season. Like we all had so much fun, and to get that gold at the end was just like so much better than last year.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I agree with everything the girls said. I think this year, like last year with the girls, I was their assistant coach, and then this year I stood up as their head coach. So for me, it was a bit of a personal achievement to sort of prove that I can step up and I can help these girls. By all means, credit goes to them. They've got amazing talent, and I'm just sort of there to guide them and get them to do how to work together and sort of upskill so they're ready for seniors. I think for me, this was the first year that I played alongside some of them in seniors, and it was a good test to see whether I felt like I'd coached them good enough to be ready for that level. It's a faster game. It's a harder game. And I take that pride that I can step out of it and say, yes, I can coach them, but yes, I can play with them, and I've prepared them enough for that. So it was a good little close to that chapter, but I know that there's still most of these girls that I've coached for 2 years now have 1 more year left in juniors. So I would like to see that through, and then get them that hopefully another premiership next year to finish off their junior career, and then focus on just being their teammate.
Like Hannah, honestly, like we appreciate you so much, and like you really helped us this season, like so much. But yeah, it was a really important win for all of us. And like I said before, as a first time player in competitive volleyball, other than like a state level, like it was so much fun. I can't recommend it enough to anyone that's thinking about doing a club volleyball, joining a team. And honestly, this win, it meant so much to the team who's just worked their butts off all season, and all the hard work paid off, and it just was an incredible moment.
How did all you get involved in volleyball, and why did you choose it?
So my older sister played volleyball in high school, just in like our academy program. And then when I started year 7, she kind of introduced me to it, and we had a really good coach who founded the club at the time, but he's left now. And he really helped me get into it. And since then, I've just loved it. It's a great sport.
I started back in year 4 at school, in our school program, and just continued doing it until I hit high school. And that's when it kind of got more serious, and we started playing competitions in Schools Cup. And then last year I joined Storm, and it was just it was great then. That's when I started.
Yeah, I was in year 9, I think, when I came back from a netball game, because I used to play netball and basketball, and my brother was at Storm trials, and I was just sitting on the sideline like waiting for him to finish, and then one of the coaches actually came up to me and was like, "Oh, you're tall, you should come to trials tomorrow." So I actually like was tossing it up all night, and then I'm like might as well do it. So I rocked the tomorrow trial, got in, didn't actually do it that year, but I went on to do school volleyball and then joined Storm the following year.
Yeah, mine's very similar to Emma. I played at school because the coaches saw my height, obviously. I'm very tall. But they see the height and they think, oh, this would be a really good advantage in the game. And then I sort of continued playing. Same as Nikki, I go to the same school. So we sort of did a few tournaments through school. And then I joined Storm this year and I just had a blast. It's been good.
Mine's a little different. I actually used to play basketball like really seriously. And then my team actually ended up short a player and my friend was a volleyball player. So I actually made a bet because her team was short. So I had to play volleyball and she had to play basketball. And I played it for a year and I actually really enjoyed it. But then I moved. So I moved to Singapore. So I didn't actually get to play there. And then I came back and I moved back to Emmanuel, which is the school that Vicky and Ava go to. And I actually got back into volleyball then. And yeah, I tried out for Storm and just like I quit basketball like on the spot and because I couldn't like juggle it anymore and I've just like enjoyed it ever since.
Guys in particular, and I actually might include you, Coach Hannah, as well, because you do play yourself. So if you had a dream position where you love to convince your coaches to put you next year, where would that be?
Setter.
No.
I'm trying. I'm gonna get it.
I'm happy with my position. I love playing middle, and I just love running around the court like a headless chicken. It's fun, and I don't think I could really play any other position. I don't really have the coordination for it, so I'm pretty happy with my spot.
Yeah, I love middle. But I'd like to play a bit of pass hit maybe, but I also love middle, so.
Yeah, I would definitely like to stay as a pass hit or oppo, but especially in pass hit, like work on my passing. Yeah.
I'm happy being setter, although Kai does want to take over. So I don't mind playing pass hit once in a while.
I think the girls definitely share that with me quite often, what they want to play and what they don't want to play. They're not afraid to pass that message on to me. But for me personally, I've played middle, like same story to Chloe and Ava, because I was tall. Coaches just went, yep, come play middle. I have been nagging my coach for the last couple of years to let me play opposite, and every year I get selected as a middle and an opposite and then never get to play it. So we'll just keep working on that one over the years, but I do like playing middle as well.
Get all you to answer this next one as well. What does the sport of volleyball mean to all of you, especially playing for the Gold Coast Volleyball Club?
It means a lot to play for the Gold Coast Club because there isn't a lot of clubs around us. I think the next closest club is in Logan and they're only new this year, I'm pretty sure. So to be able to have a club like close to all of us and available for us to play is really special because they have so many clubs in Brisbane. So it kind of means a lot to put on the Gold Coast jersey and say, yeah, we have a team, and winning the premiership is like, yeah, we can do it too. You know, it's not just the Brisbane teams that can beat everyone up. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, like the commute to Brisbane is obviously like a big thing, especially when you're training like once or twice a week. So I think Gold Coast, not only is it convenient, but like it fills us with a lot of pride as well because there's not a lot of teams down here, and to play for Gold Coast, like we're sort of the underdogs, and I think we really came through this year. So it like means a lot to all of us, and the sport in general. It's just such a good community, and everyone just wants to see each other succeed, except the opposition, obviously. But yeah.
Yeah, well, volleyball in general is just like, without it, I don't know what to do with my life. Like now the season's done, I don't know what to do after school. It's because it's such a big part of it is like the social part. Like you catch up with your friends every week, especially since you're driving to Brisbane every week for games, and like also in seniors you're doing that for games as well. The drive there is like you have to make that worthwhile. So you're with friends all the time, and then the drive back you're with friends again. So that takes up like so much of your life, but I love it. So I don't know what I would do without it.
I'm like similar to Emma, where it's like for seniors, we do the trip up to Brisbane at least twice a week. and it's like, it's crazy just as a whole. Like, it takes up so much of our life, and like, honestly, now that we're off season, we're trying to find like every opportunity possible to play. Like message each other and be like, do you want to go play beach? Like, can we rent a court? Like, what can we do to play more? And yeah, like, representing Gold Coast is awesome. Like, we're such a close community, like everyone's friends, like, you know, everyone. And yeah, it's just like, it's really fun, and it makes the sport more enjoyable, like knowing that everyone around you has your back and like they want to help you get better. So like, whether Hannah's coaching us or like maybe Nate or like one of the other coaches will come across and help us, like, you just know everyone's there for like to have fun and like be a part of the community and help you.
Yeah, adding on to what Kai said, I think it's like, if you play volleyball and you love volleyball, it's a great opportunity to join a club. Like, you really should, because it's just a new level of volleyball that you haven't experienced yet. And it's such a great experience. And you see all your volleyball friends playing for other clubs, and you verse them all the time, whether it's a school team or club team or state team. And it's just a great experience to be spending with friends and making new connections.
Yeah, I definitely agree with everything the girls say. For me, I moved to the Gold Coast 2 years ago, and the first thing I did was seek out a volleyball club because I used to play Melbourne. And I knew that I wasn't ready to give it up, and I've now played for like 10 years and I'm still not ready to give it up. And so I hope the girls have that same attitude when they've been around long enough. But for me, coming to the Gold Coast Club, one, it saved me travel time. But two, I instantly connected with the senior girls that are there, and I still play with them, and I see them every weekend. For those that have gone to different clubs, I do everything I can. And yeah, like the girls said, you come to training and it's fun because you're with your friends. You go to games and it's fun because you're with your friends again. And then you're playing against people that you might go to school with or that you've played at a different club with before. So it's just constantly meeting new people. And I think the social side of it is what makes volleyball so special. And like, I've got friends in my teams that I play with and other coaches, but then now, although I am these girls' coach, I also have a friendship with them. And it's nice to see them grow up and love the sport just as I have.
What have all you learnt from each other on and off the volleyball court?
Honestly, I think we've all kind of just learned different skills, and like watching each other play and improve has helped us all improve as well, because we get to see how someone does something better than us and then they help us out. Like, we all always get to help each other out with helping with our technique, and like, what am I doing wrong today? Like, why can't I pass? And then we're like, because you're doing this wrong, and we kind of just help each other out. And then like off the court, we kind of just, it's a bit more of a mess around. Pretty much on and off court, we are a pretty joking around team, I guess you could say.
I think we all definitely have learnt something from each other, whether it be skill-based or even like with our personality and our mental game, which is also a big impact to keep those nerves down when it's a stressful time or when the game's really close. We've all like learnt how each other work together and just connect with each other.
Yeah, like I know for training, like a few of the girls like were helping me with like different skills, especially like those A balls, because they're so fast. Like, they were drawing lines on the floor, like they were helping me so much. And like Nikki said, like whether it's skill based or like personality, like we really are a community at Gold Coast, and like we all like really love each other, and we like give each other high fives and like tips and that sharing community. And I think that really helps us become better players as well.
Yeah, I think like to build off that, like something that we all do really well is like we just build off each other. Like if something's not working, like you just get like a quick tip from someone or you ask them. I think that's like really what like contributed to our success, was like just constantly bouncing off each other for like ideas and like what we can do better. Like on and off the court, it worked for all of us. As Chloe said, we like to muck around a bit, which made it like fun for everyone. Like it wasn't too serious. Like we could just have fun and like actually just play the sport that we all love so much, which made it like really fun for us all.
Yeah, it was good seeing like what everyone was capable of. Like you hang out with them outside of school and you have a good time, but when you come on the court and you see them in their zone and what they're like doing, and it's like amazing to see like Ava, I remember the last game, especially those 2 blocks were massive, and it was just so cool seeing like what everyone was capable of. It's just amazing.
I think these girls all in all have, like, being able to watch them over the last few years have grown massively as players, but as people too. Like, they've gone from their first year playing ever into right to Chloe, for example, being her last year as a junior player, and now she's also playing in seniors. Chloe and I get to see each other outside of volleyball because we work together as well. So getting to know these girls as they get older in a setting away from volleyball, like, it shows me that the impact that I've had on them has been worth every second and every amount of hours and time and sleepless nights that I spend thinking about their games. But yeah, getting to watch them grow and be a part of the community, I think that's what makes volleyball and Gold Coast, our club in particular, so special, is we aren't results focused. We're very like development based junior programming and getting them up and ready for seniors. It's not been a club that's been established for very long, so it's something we put a lot of time and effort into our juniors in having fun and wanting to be there. And this team has something very special where they just connect on and off the court. And that's taught me a lot and taught me to be very patient as well. Because sometimes these girls, yes, they do muck around and they joke around, but it keeps the energy light even in serious situations and close games. So it's helped me a lot grow as a coach. Yeah, I couldn't fault coaching these girls in any way.
We'll finish on a couple of lighthearted questions, which is who had the most embarrassing moments on the volleyball court and what was it?
I do remember one moment I had. I'm not sure if it's the most embarrassing one, but it was a game just during our normal rounds, and I think it was Emma and I went up for the block, and I think one of us got a hand. I think Emma got a hand on it. It came down on our side though. And then I think I may have touched it with someone put an arm in, and then it went up again and they blocked it off us. And then it came down, hit me in the face, went back over the net and landed on the ground on their side, and we got the point. And I was on the ground. I didn't even know what had happened. I think a ball got like swung into my face, and we were all just like, we won the point. It was so funny. That was a pretty fun moment for me.
Yeah, I also remember that. High. I think she went up for a hit, except she bent backwards and she kind of did like an opposite Michael Jackson thing where she just folded onto the floor and she like broke her back. We got it on video actually, but that was funny.
I remember doing that, and like I just like fell into this little pile on the floor, and I look up at Hannah, who's like, what did your body just do? Like, confused at like what had happened. Like, I didn't even know what just happened.
Chloe, I've got to ask this to you. So with your one in particular, so am I sure you just copped like a falcon with the ball in the head?
Yeah, like I was on, because I must have like fallen over trying to get the ball, and then like I was literally just laying and I was like, I had my head up trying to find where the ball is, and then I think they blocked it down on me and it came and just hit me in the head, and then I was like, but obviously my head is bouncy enough to make the ball get back over. So yeah, it's pretty good.
Who's the comedian, the best singer, and into their TikToks?
That's a good one.
It is.
I think the comedian's got to be Pie.
Yeah, I reckon it's Pie.
Yeah.
Never on purpose. I just embarrass myself a lot.
Yeah. I don't think we have a best singer. I think we're all pretty bad.
I'd have to say Emma. Emma can belt it out. You should hear her in the car. She's amazing.
Yeah, those 1 hour car trips.
Yep. She loves a good Justin Bieber song.
Maybe by Justin Bieber.
Yeah. I'd say Emma for best singer, but I've heard a lot of it.
Yeah, I don't know about TikTok. I don't think none of us really made TikToks with each other like before games. We kind of like, we didn't really go on our phones much. We kind of just like, honestly, if you looked at us and you didn't know us, you'd probably think we're an under 15s team by the way we like run around and like jump on each other and stuff. It's kind of funny to watch, but you wouldn't think that we're the under 19s premiers or anything. No.
Okay, I don't know if this question is going to be any relevant now after that response, which was, did you do a TikTok dance, a premiership TikTok dance?
No. We leave TikTok to Sharks Volleyball Club.
I think the TikTok's sort of gone out the window and the girls are more on Be Real at the moment, and they do one at every single training.
I love a good Be Real.
Yeah, it's good.
Any good Be Real? I think it's a photo app, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any good ones that we should know about?
I swear someone did one with the ref or something. Didn't someone get one with the official?
Yeah, the volleyball official. I think that might have been like Pi or Emma. Something they
It would have been.
No, it was one of the boys. I have like all the team ones, but I reckon the boys have asked a couple. Oh, actually, at state champs, I got a couple with the coaches, which were pretty funny. They had no idea what it was, and they just looked so confused. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Did either of you have a pre-game superstition or ritual?
I know I am. I'm very superstitious. We always, I have a thing with ribbons. When we do like a team ribbon thing, we always wear ribbons. At like a really pinpoint game, we wear ribbons.
Yeah. I feel like we're all pretty like chilled out when it comes to our under 19s games. I know because they were on Friday nights, like we all have been like either school or working or doing anything. And so by the time it got to that game time, we were all pretty chilled, and we just we had our warm-up like stuff that we did, but I don't think many of us had anything, because under 19s games personally for me was a time where I could kind of just relax a bit and have a bit more fun with my games, as seniors is a lot more like pressure and like everyone is just like, it's a lot more tense, whereas our under 19s games were just fun and like really enjoyable, and it just really made me love the sport more.
Yeah, I reckon like it wasn't superstitions, but it was more like routine. Like for me, it was like Emma would come pick me up, and then we'd just blast like tunes the whole way down to Brisbane and get like super hype. And May would always be in the car with us as well. We'd always get like food and just like blast tunes and have like a great time before we went onto the court.
We'd always buy those gut shots before the game.
Yeah, we always took gut shots before the game. That was tragic.
No, not really. I sort of just go to coach and just hope that the girls have prepared themselves, because I would always come straight from work or be running in the door late because I was in traffic coming from work. I know that the girls definitely had their gut shots and some energy drinks and whatever they needed to get pumped up for the games. I think without realizing it, a lot of them did have routines, like when they go back to serve. And I know I have one as well, that you always bounce the ball a certain amount of times, or you try to line up the balls like valve with a certain part of your hand. I think all the girls have some sort of routine for their serve, just to get them in the mindset, rather than going back just hitting the ball and hoping for the best. But yeah, without realizing it, most of them probably have some sort of routine.
I don't know about Chloe, but like as a middle player, like standing on the net, like I can get a little like, if I like crack my knuckles on one side, I have to crack the other side kind of thing. Like, and if I don't, like, so if I look at the server, they almost always miss their serve. So I have to be facing the net, and that's hard because sometimes, I know Kai did it at least 3 times in the season, just ball straight to the back of the head. Like she was probably aiming there, but.
We'll finish with a 2-part question. The first one is, describe the team in one word.
Crazy. Just straight up crazy.
I would say crazy, honestly, is probably the best way to put it.
I don't think there's another word than crazy or like a synonym of crazy. That's all we are, really.
Iconic.
Chaotic, yeah.
I would definitely describe this team as interesting, and you can take whatever meaning out of that you like.
I think, what was it? Did you just get a trophy or a shield or on the day with your medals?
We got this fat trophy and I got to carry it around and like.
The big one that they use that gets engraved, they've kept, but we get this little plaque as well to keep.
Okay, so who got to hold the main trophy first?
I think Kai snagged it away.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was me.
Yeah, I think Hannah had it and then I took it.
Yeah, I was convinced I was taking it home.
Who's going to sleep with it?
Yeah, I would have slept with that. Not the medal, but I would have taken the trophy and ran.
Okay, so I'm going to ask this one to Hannah then, because she was the first one to hold it. So how good was it to hold the cup before your amazing team swarmed onto you?
It felt pretty good. I only had a few seconds with it because then we had to give it to someone in the team for a big photo. But yeah, it felt really good to sort of come away with that and wrap the season up. It was the last game that I had. I didn't have to coach anything after that. So it's kind of nice between Demi and I to both sort of, have our hands on it and go, yeah, we did this together and this was our success as much as it was theirs. And then we're like, all right, we've had our moment. Let's give it to the girls. And we knew that they were about to take 100,000 photos with it. So we just left them be.
Did any of you get a chance to kiss the cup?
That's a missed opportunity. Oh my gosh. I didn't even think of that.
Next time.
Next time.
Next time.
This one's out to Smash FM and then we'll kiss the cup.
Yeah.
Drink some water out of it or some beer or something.
We'll put
Like gut shots in it.
Gut shots, yes!
Gut shots.
These are brilliant ideas.
Yeah, that's great.
All right, I'm going to make sure I'm there. So, and I'll take up on your one, Pi. So,
you'll be the first to drink out of it. We'll fill it up with gut shots for you.
All right. That's a deal.
Yep.
But Ori, thank you so much for giving up some of your time to join us this morning. Congratulations on winning the premiership. Well deserved, and can't wait to hopefully watch you all play next year, either at 19s or at seniors in 2023.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks for having us.
No worries. No worries. And that's the Gold Coast Volleyball Club under-19s premiership team there. And, of course, win the JVPL competition. There's more on the Smash Sport show right after this. Don't go away here on the 10th year celebration.